This segment of Pigskin Holiday brought to you by Third Down Powder Donuts. Our donuts do not taste like foot calluses. Now, Lights Out Spina, the man, CT. This is my most favorite segment because I get my FaceTime, which this is just so, it's so important. I got some gray I need some just for men. Emmett Smith hooked me up. I know you got to hook up.
Mr. Gray.
That's right.
Rejected.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot that happened in this week of football. A lot that happens this week. Lots of good, lots of bad. And I want to start with the good because it's just more uplifting. And I like to end with the bad because I want people to be pissed off and just waiting for like the next segment to bring them back up. Holdout mode.
Yeah. He's waiting for his new contract.
Right.
Let's not go there, Deshaun Jackson.
Right, right. Anyways, CT, I'm going to start with you just because you're to my left, and that's the natural way that I go because I'm left-handed, southpaw, and you're always there. And I usually start with you.
Most of the time.
So what is your holy shit moment this week?
Well,
Your holy shits.
I've got several.
Holy shits.
And a lot of these I'm going to go over again in a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of run down this little list real quick. Holy shit, KC beat Green Bay. Obviously.
Yeah.
Defense.
Wow.
Wow.
Seattle beat Chicago. What the hell? Indy beats Tennessee.
Wow.
Washington beats the Giants. Then on top of that, three big, huge score differences. The Patriots stomping the Broncos 41-23. Atlanta just rolling Jacksonville 41-14. And then, of course, the Saints crushing the Vikings 42-20. And then, you know, to top off the list, your boys getting smacked the hell down.
Smacked around.
By Philly.
Yeah.
45-19.
Yeah.
And just
like they were like an
insane
incompetent
scores.
stepchild, just smacked.
It was like, you know, the kid on the back of the bus that's licking the windows and the like the bus monitor. He's not the bus driver, but you know the bus monitor. Because you know, whenever there's window lickers involved, there has to be another person on the bus. Like they go back there and just smack him in the back of the head. You don't know where that window. You don't know where that window's been.
You've been on the bus the whole time.
Oh, well, that's what you think. I've heard what it does on the weekends.
I know what you did last summer.
Uh-oh.
I can see right through you.
Exactly. But that's just kind of that, you know, the big score differences, the teams winning that have not been winning and beating teams that have been, and then, you know, on the flip side of that, the teams that have lost that shouldn't have.
Right.
And I'll touch a little more in depth on them.
Right.
Shortly.
Okay. Okay. Ed, holy shit me, man.
Holy shit
me.
Holy shit, what a difference a week makes.
Yeah.
Not for just the things you mentioned, which is a big part of what difference a week makes.
Yeah.
But let's look at some score differences, all right? Let's look at last week. Giants-Cowboys, a shootout. 71 points were scored. Giants won 37-34. This week they lost 23-10. How about the Saints last week? 6-3 at the half over Tennessee. They only won 22-17. This week, big difference. 42-20. I mean, you know, it's one week to the next is very different. You just never know. You know, obviously who won, who lost this week is pretty crazy.
Right.
But stuff like that. And then San Diego whooping up a Baltimore 34-14.
Yeah, wow.
Where's this Chargers team been?
I have no idea.
Last week, San Diego scored
Hell's half acre.
37 points, so. But they won 37 over Buffalo, who is on. Holy shit, Buffalo can't do. Who didn't do much?
Yeah, who can't do much?
The Bills are just, man. I mean, we
They have
said it
fallen
might
apart.
happen between them and Detroit. They know how to win.
Yeah.
We said the Dolphins had no identity. They started to find it, and they lost it, and they found it again yesterday.
Mhm.
You know, it's like very inconsistent.
They are
but
very.
These teams back in this inconsistency, as opposed to like the Arizonas and Seattle's who tend to just win lately.
Right.
The big thing about the holy shit that I want to continue with is, again, the NFL schedule.
Right.
The last 2 games of the year are going to be freaking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants and Cowboys meet in the last game. Arizona, Seattle meets in the last game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a few very good last games. And Philadelphia and Washington, another NFC East.
Yeah,
That is going to have playoff implications.
it very well could.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially if Washington keeps playing the way that they have and Philly keeps playing the way that they have.
but I don't think Washington will, and Philly might.
Well, I mean, we didn't think, though, that Philly would play as bad as they did through the middle, either. So I would say either one of them has an equal chance of playing well as the other.
Everybody in that division is just going to end up being 1-1. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so crazy. Just so crazy the way that division's going.
Let's take a real quick, holy shit look at the playoff picture in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
For example, Pittsburgh has San Fran tonight. Holy shit, there's been 2 hour power outages in San
Yeah,
Francisco.
holy
tonight.
shit.
They're on delay right now because of another power outage over there.
Yeah.
And it's 6-0 San Francisco.
Yeah, they was
Come
probably
on,
about
Steelers.
to kick that field goal and
But the Steelers closed out the season against St. Louis and Cleveland, so come on. I mean, that should be pretty good.
should be.
They've already pushed the playoff spot and they have some easy games left. So
But, you know, like on the flip side of that, though, the Rams beat the Saints.
Right.
We'll talk about that until the season's done, and we'll talk about it at the start of next year, too. Just because of just how big of a step that is down for the Saints. And it could just as easily happen to Pittsburgh.
well, as far as that playoff race, also in the AFC, Denver closed out the season against Buffalo and Kansas City. Buffalo, you'd think they could take them, but then again,
Yeah.
you never know. Because
Mhm.
Buffalo can play enough to beat the lack of offense that the Broncos have until the fourth quarter.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they beat the Patriots earlier in the year, and we just saw what the Patriots did to the Broncos.
Uh-huh.
So you would think, okay, well, you know, by statistics, you would think, okay, well, here you go, you can beat the Broncos too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But-
think so.
Not so much. So you never know.
And the
Everything's so
Jets
crazy.
have the Giants and the Dolphins.
Yeah. Could go either way.
Not as big of an impact there, but like I said, Pittsburgh's got a pretty easy ride running out. Denver's got a tough road. Cincy and Baltimore last week of the season. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, Houston, and Jacksonville. There's big division implications over there. And then Oakland has KC and San Diego.
Yeah.
Nothing easy over there. The Chargers have Detroit and Oakland.
Meh.
And then KC has Oakland and Denver. So KC's got a pretty good last couple. And
Yeah.
if what we saw yesterday is any indication, they have a good chance to make a good statement going to next year and
Yeah.
maybe put some votes up for Cornell as head coach next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later on, we'll get into some of the NFC playoff matchups, or the possibilities in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yes, sir.
What's your holy shit, Mario?
My holy shit moment is I was just gonna do Calvin Johnson because I mean, god damn, that was just a hell of a game today.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to give some credit to Oakland also. So I'm gonna just say the whole entire game, 28-27, Detroit Lions over the Oakland Raiders. Carson Palmer, 367 yards, 1 touchdown. That's a great day for any quarterback. I don't care who you are. You can have three. You know, it's not every day that you get even close to 300 yards
Right.
in a game, let alone close to 400.
Right.
So then also Matt Stafford, I mean, 391, 4 touchdowns. Incredible day. Neither of them threw an interception, so they had a clean game between the two of them, which is even better because that's like just, you know, that's professional football.
Right.
You know, but on top of that, hey, Darius Hayward-Bay.
Huh?
Where the hell has Darius Hayward-Bay been that all of a sudden comes out of the woodwork, 8 receptions, 155 yards, 1 touchdown. Good on you, man. And then Calvin Johnson, of course, 9 receptions. Megatron. 9 receptions, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, averages 23.8 yards per catch. Phenomenal day for both teams, really. For both teams. That's as you always say, that is a good loss for the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
definitely
great
good
loss. So, yeah, that is my holy shit. Now,
Do your other thing about Sanford.
oh yeah, another holy
big
shit
holy
moment.
shit right
Well,
here.
how do we even forget this? We found this. We actually, I'm gonna have to credit this to ESPN because they were the ones that told us this.
Mm-hmm.
They informed us this over the national network that San Francisco's defense has not allowed a single rushing touchdown to this point so far this season. Holy
Wow.
shit!
Thus the power outage.
Holy
Yeah.
dust the power outage. Yeah.
Precisely.
Holy shit!
Precise.
Wow. So that is just incredible. Good on you guys too. I mean, that's unheard of. That's amazing. Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah. Now, Carl, what pisses you off?
You want to know what pisses me
I
off?
want to know what pisses you off.
All right. Well, what pisses me off is a lot of the games that I just talked about.
Yeah.
You know, like the Giants losing to Washington. What the hell? You guys, whenever you beat the Patriots, you have expectations to live up to for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a mile marker.
Right.
And guess what? You're not doing it. You're not living up to it. I mean, you beat Dallas. Okay, Dallas, upper middle line team. It could go either way. But Washington, you're expected to beat Washington.
Yes.
And you did not beat Washington. Why did you not beat Washington?
You can beat New England, but you can't beat Washington.
Exactly. What the hell? Fix it. Unacceptable.
No accept.
Now, Chicago. God, you guys scared me. Chicago losing to Seattle. That pisses me off because we had pretty high hopes for Chicago, and they've lived up to none of it.
Well, because Cutler went out.
Yeah, but Caleb Haney did play very well last year in the NFC
He did
Championship.
then, but he's
He
not
did then.
now.
He's not now.
We didn't do much.
Very true.
Right.
We ain't doing much.
But I mean, that's to me using the same excuse that the Colts up until this week have used the whole time.
Well, you're
okay,
right.
we have no Peyton Manning. Okay,
Right.
we suck ass.
Oh, you're right.
So that's
The Texans
unexcusable.
pulled it off.
Yeah,
Right.
The Cardinals have pulled it off.
Right.
precisely. I mean, you can't let one person on your team going down ruin how you play. You just can't do it, and that's what they're doing right now. Forte got hurt, and once he got hurt, and then Cutler was hurt too,
Mm-hmm.
they had nothing going.
And now Knox is out.
Yeah.
He has to get
By the way,
back
I
surgery,
hope he gets better soon.
Yeah, that
hopefully. But, I mean, that's something else that's just unacceptable in every way. And then, of course, St. Louis losing again. Big fucking shocker here that they're on this list. Jackasses. I mean, how the hell... how could you guys even call yourself a professional football team? Honestly. This is piss poor.
I know how to find out. You take this year's NCAA Division I national champion and you put them in the dome against the Rams next season.
Yeah.
First week, preseason week.
I would bet a full paycheck.
And if
on
the
the
Rams
NCAA
lose, they
team.
cancel their season.
Yeah, they
Forfeit.
should. They
If
should.
they win, okay.
They should probably just go ahead and do that now. Because, I'm more disappointed in them than I am in Indy. Because at least Indy has kept, the games interesting. Most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. And St. Louis just botches everything.
They have no offense.
Or
They have
defense.
They have no
They
name.
have some defense.
Sometimes. But it's so hit and miss that I wouldn't even consider it really a defense.
Right.
I mean, they have these flashes of brilliance where, all right, we're going to keep you from scoring. And then all of a sudden they stop doing that and they don't do shit. And then they let somebody score, 50 points on them in a row, unanswered, and they just sit there. They just roll over and take it. Because that's what they do. You roll over and take it. Deep. They're terrible.
Going back to week 12, the Rams are negative 130 on the net points.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which means they allowed 134 more points than they scored.
Yeah, that's... How bad is that? I mean, and then, Houston losing to Carolina. This pisses me off for the sole fact that Houston is my third favorite team. And they've been doing so much right, and then they get just smacked around by a team who's been basically not good all year. I mean, Newton has been good, and Steve Smith has been good, and that's it.
Mhm.
There are no other Carolina Panthers. There's
Right.
There's Cam Newton, Steve Smith, and the Panthers.
I don't know. Mario and I were talking earlier about they went from Olsen to Shockey at tight end. There's some contribution there.
That's, well, yeah, but overall, you're not hearing names other than those two doing a whole lot. And it's been that case all year. But on the flip side, you hear about Houston, you know, all right, we lost a quarterback. We'll put another one in. Okay, we lost another quarterback. We'll put another one in. We're
Get it
still going
done.
to win.
Yeah.
Our running back's down. We'll go to the next one. He's down. Okay, the other one's back. You know,
Yeah.
our wide receiver's down.
They've made it
We'll
work.
use the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've made everything work right.
They've used
whenever
their
they needed
personnel
to.
very well. Yeah.
And
But
then
do
they
you-
botch it against Carolina.
Well, but do you think is it because they hit a hot Carolina team who has needed to do this for the last few weeks, or because Houston? Okay, we got the playoff thing taken care of. We won the division, kind of like the Green Bay Packers. You slow that transmission down a little bit and kind of start coasting.
That's possible, but I mean, you know,
I think that if you're a
I
third
wouldn't
string
have thought
quarter,
so.
I think that if you're a third string quarterback, the last thing that you want to do is kick things down a little bit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not just because of like your team and how like how well your team's doing and like the fact that you've clinched a playoff berth in the division, but so much as like what are your possibilities after this season? As a third string quarterback, you know, you come in and you're actually doing very well and you're undefeated so far, and you go into a team, you know, that you're expected to beat, and then you just kind of, I wouldn't think that as a third string quarterback you would really want to kind of let yourself go just because of,
yeah.
you know,
'Cause-
the future things to come. Because
Yeah.
I mean, your contract could be up, you know, they could decide, hey, we don't want TJ Yates at the end of this year. The Browns might be like, hey, TJ Yates, come over here. You know, we're going
Right,
to give you a chance to
exactly.
start. Or somebody, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Well, but I wouldn't put it all on TJ Yates either.
no,
No,
I
but-
wouldn't.
Overall, as a team.
Yeah, they did. It was
I think it's-
everybody just slacked. It seemed like there was like nothing going on.
I think it's more of it could be just more of a hungrier Panthers team, you know what I mean? Who's not really
because
has a chance to
they
win
should have
very
won
much.
more than they have.
Yeah,
and
a lot
they know
more.
that.
Yeah. And so maybe they
They
kind of,
have
you know,
more
they
talent than they do W's.
they looked at this as an opportunity to be like, all right, this is a good, even with the third string quarterback, this is a good Texans team that's coming, so we should be prepared. You know what I
Right.
mean? We should be on our A game, and they were.
Yep.
They just definitely outplayed the Houston Texans.
And Tennessee pisses me off because they lost to frickin' Indianapolis. Who the hell loses to Indianapolis? Oh wait, nobody except
The Rams
fucking Tennessee.
The Rams won.
probably would.
You know,
No,
you're
KC
right.
didn't. They almost did.
But-
They went to the wire in that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a very good game.
But I mean, the Titans have been kind of on a miniature roll here.
They have been.
beating all kinds of people, and then
They've been in that Arizona-Seattle group
they have.
until this week.
Beating
Right.
teams that you shouldn't be beating.
Right,
Yeah.
and then losing to fucking Indianapolis. And then Baltimore. Oh, God. Next to the Patriots, you guys know that Baltimore is my team.
Mm-hmm.
And then to lose to San Diego, the way San Diego has played all year, is bad enough in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then to lose as badly as they did on both sides of the ball, knowing how good both sides of the ball can play for Baltimore, against this same San Diego team who has not been so good,
Mm-hmm.
that is very bad. 34-14, are you kidding me? I mean, they need to figure out what the hell they did wrong and never, ever do it again.
It started with Flacco throwing 2 picks,
Yeah, well,
but you know,
stupid
but yeah.
ass flag. And you know what's funny? I just one more thing on that game is I have both of those quarterbacks on my fantasy team, and I was like, I played Flacco because you know what Rivers does is bombs games. No. he destroyed this week, and of course, I'm like out of the picture now as far as winning the whole thing.
Are you?
Oh yeah,
How did this happen?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's no good. But then, I mean, of course, the last thing that pisses me off is Buffalo. Again. And, it's just like these old Western movies. You see, like, the Indians chasing this herd of buffalo right off of the fucking canyon. That's exactly what Buffalo has done. Because they can't do shit. They're losing to Miami. I mean, Miami has been kind of trying to get their thing going. But, you know, just like we was talking about with the Giants, you beat the Patriots this year. There's only one other team besides you guys who have been able to do that. And what have you done with it?
Two other teams.
We lost 3 games.
Right, the Giants. I said the Giants and Buffalo, and there's been one other team.
Oh.
Well, we misunderstood.
Oh, yes.
We were on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
You guys' brains ain't working. Oh, I made him cry. Every show.
Every show.
That's cool, though.
It is. I make him cry every show.
Wait till the last show. He'll really be crying.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know,
I mean, the season's so...
I just am completely baffled by the fact that Buffalo sucks so bad now.
Yeah, what the hell happened, man?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to call Fitz up tomorrow.
I think you should.
Not Fitzgerald in Arizona, but Fitz in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right. Ryan Fitz. They're like, dude, what the F?
But, I mean,
Wait a minute, maybe it's Chan Gailey.
Yeah, call him.
you know,
Chan.
it just...
Chan.
What up,
We
Chan?
was talking about, you know, how Detroit and Buffalo, how they was doing really good, but whenever they finally lose one, who can bounce back? And for a while, it was looking like neither one of them. And then Detroit's gotten back on track here, and Buffalo has not. And it was just like as soon as they got that first loss, it was like, oh wow, we're Buffalo.
Well, they they had that real close game with Cincinnati, and they kind of tried to fight back after that, and then,
Yeah.
Lackluster.
whereas
done
Detroit, when Detroit got shellacked by Chicago, and then, not far behind that, they had the meltdown on Thanksgiving Day because the Packers were sued.
Oh yeah.
And somehow, I think the whole Denalican Sue thing made that team rally together as a unit and say, look, guys, all right, this season's not over. We're still in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it together now.
Yeah.
You know? And they've been doing that.
Yeah.
And Stafford's a big part of it. And
Right.
obviously
Very, very
Megatron.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's all I got. I mean, I know I rambled on a little bit longer than I really intended to on there, but God, there's so many of you guys that suck, and you're better than what you are, but you're sucking. You suck.
You can suck it. You can
Suck.
suck it. You can all suck it.
They do suck it.